This is Dr. Stephen Daniel. Today is Father's Day in 2024, and I haven't done a YouTube video in about 5 or 6 years. There's been a lot happening. As you can see, I'm not in Maui anymore. I moved back to where I came from, Prescott, Arizona, and it's a beautiful place. We've had a lot of developments. A lot of us have gone through some tough stuff with COVID and lots of other issues that people are still suffering from. And we've had a transformation of quantum techniques. It's not just improvement, but it's like a jump in consciousness and the ability to heal, especially chronic issues. I turned 70 this year, and in the last 5 months, I've experienced a level of healing that I didn't believe was possible. And I'll get to those later on. I'll bring up some of those stories. But, from a head injury and then mold exposure and heavy metal toxins, I've had chronic neck, head, shoulder pain for 57 years. I've been able to control it and manage it well and have a good life. But in the last 5 months, we have new scans that pretty much will reverse rapidly, faster than anything we've ever done, autoimmune diseases, chronic health issues, and reverse aging. Now, for example, for me, after having severe headaches and neck pain and migraines much of the last 57 years, including fibromyalgia pain, I have none of those now. Now, like many people, I had COVID. Didn't have a bad case. And the second time I had it, I didn't even know I had it unless I tested. I didn't have any symptoms. I was just kind of tired and scratchy throat for about 10 days. I had a lot worse colds and flus in my life. But then I, like many others, developed long haul COVID. And we found a quick cure for that. For the first time in my life, when I got COVID, my right leg blew up, and I had to have 5 vein procedures. Well, a year later, almost to the month, it blew up again. And this time I did our long haul COVID scan very quick, and within 7 days, all the pain and swelling was gone. No need for surgeries. So one of the things we can do is take care of long haul COVID, because when you have long haul COVID, it causes an inflammatory process throughout the body. And sometimes it creates new things like EMF sensitivity you didn't have before. But if you had any old chronic issues that maybe were doing a whole lot better, it kind of blew them out of the water. And I've never seen any other illness do that. But that's something we can now address. But one of the reasons I'm starting to film again is we have new equipment, things I can do on my own. And so I'll be producing a number of YouTube videos. In fact, today I'll produce a number. And those will start being on our website. But all of our practitioners are trained in the newest scans I'm going to share. So besides reversing aging, addressing some specific areas, with the new treatments, my blood pressure dropped both ends 50 points. And I'm on hardly any medication. I was on 5 that didn't work. And now I'm only on 3 and half the doses I was on. And probably I'll go off those this year. I've never been able to intermittently fast because I have blood sugar issues. That's not a problem anymore. The last 3 years, besides long haul COVID, I found I had latent chronic Lyme's disease and Epstein-Barr virus, which again, was getting them under control before COVID, and that blew them out of the water. Well, that caused me extreme exhaustion, pain, but exhaustion. Well, I don't have exhaustion anymore. This morning, I did 220 deep squats, with yoga breathing. I'm walking 7.5 miles up and down hills with my Rottweiler. So, and I've lost 40 pounds this year. I'm at the weight I was when I was 19. And it's been effortless because I cleaned all the stuff off the hidden cell surface receptors and the organs involved. And that's what's so new about this new treatment. we're finding all the hidden organs and tissues. We use specific charts. If you have an old injury that's not healing, we're finding that old injured tissue, whether that's in the ear from tinnitus or joint pain, shoulder pain, those injuries are like a magnet for attracting old, dead, and live pathogens hidden in the body. Get rid of those, they heal. I damaged my right elbow 37 years ago. And I had about a 50% usage in it. And about 3 years ago, I was shoveling snow, and I never know I'm hurting it until the next day. And I got to where I couldn't lift the glass with my right hand. And so I did have a stem cell injection. I did have experts that, MRI'd it and CAT scanned it, and they said, well, you don't have any tissue connecting to that bone. If you want, if it's bothering you, I'll cut it back a little bit, but until we get artificial elbows, there's nothing we can do. Well, with the stem cell injection, I got it back to 50% over about 3 years. But with this, and treating it the new way with quantum techniques, it's about 95%. I mean, I can go out and hammer and use a hatchet, things I could not do for the last 15 years. So amazing things in terms of healing. And this is not just me. We're finding, for example, I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. I had a machine for 8 months. I cleared it in one treatment by knowing all the specific areas of the throat. So I'd go in there and say, well, what's hidden here? I no longer have sleep apnea. So the amount of things we've seen change with this rapidly are amazing. Some other areas, I know we can help with sleep apnea. We're working on something that so far is very successful. Again, quick treatments with tinnitus. I suspect there's going to be a lot of other things that we find, again, that we've not known. But with these new scans, we're able to make more rapid changes, especially chronic symptoms, autoimmune disease, chronic pain, chronic weakness, chronic suffering, chronic brain fog. I had someone who I worked with before, and they public speak, and they go to Toastmasters. They're very good at it, but they're absolutely terrified. And I'd done all I could do before, and they've done all kinds of, psychological and tapping, and never goes away. Well, we went in and found out what part of their brains are not talking. And I'll talk about neuroplasticity and a new way of that. And in every chronic symptom, you're going to have the corpus callosum involved in the thalamus. Well, the thalamus is the gatekeeper for all sensory inputs except for smell. So it determines which path you take neurally. And that has to be put online and cleared of what's blocking its flexibility to have any kind of healing. So that's just another thing we can do. So excited to be back. Excited to be in Prescott. It's a beautiful place. Life is good, especially with the new QT. And we're going to be doing more YouTube videos. But if you want to know some of this stuff, email or call a practitioner. We'll be glad to help you and help change your life. And it can happen rapidly. Things are happening in a month or two, sometimes only 2 or 3 treatments. And the new scan probably takes 25 minutes, and then maybe a 2-week, 10-minute follow-up. Sometimes there's more follow-ups depending on how complex the issue and how quickly the body unwraps. But lots of new exciting things, and if you haven't tried QT, now's the time. Hope you have a blessed day.